about Urge, right? So Urge is kind of a violent, crazy, and kind of weird type of movie. It's essentially kind of like a Twilight Zone episode mixed with a dash of kind of drugs. The thing about this film is just that it is a very crazy film from almost like start to finish, and I believe this film is actually quite wild. The problem with this film is just that I believe it wants to be more wilder, or at least it thinks it's more wilder than it actually is, because pretty much everything you kind of seen in here, you probably seen a little bit more crazier in a lot of teen type of films, and probably done a little bit more better. Now the thing about this film is just that it has a lot of shit kind of going on from like bondage, girl on girl, alcohol, sex, drugs. Like this is more crazy than a fucking Charlie Sheen Tiger Blood phase. The thing about it is just that the first 20 minutes of this film is essentially kind of the setup to like all these characters. The problem is they don't do a decent enough job trying to set up these characters and make you actually kind of care for them. So when they kind of actually start to indulge inside their sanity, they actually don't make you really care for these type of people. At the very beginning, they're giving some tech billionaire mumbo jumbo from like, you know, Danny Masterson, aka Hyde, but it just doesn't work because it doesn't seem relevant to the plot. And that's kind of like what the next problem is. It's just that later on, once it kind of get past the part of like taking the urge, most of the plot just kind of falls flat on his ass, and there's not really much going on except Justin Chatwin kind of running around doing nothing except trying to find Pierce Bronson. And the thing is, Pierce Bronson is by far the best part of this entire movie. He's very clearly playing Satan, and I actually did like that because it actually seemed like he's actually having fun. And it talks kind of like a little bit about, you know, philosophical bullshit, but then again, it actually talks about the urge. Him and Justin Chatwin are by far probably the better parts of this film, even though Justin Chatwin looked like he actually just came straight out of a shower and he didn't even manage to like clean himself up. Goku needs some hair gel. The thing about this film also to add on is just that the urge. The concept is really what kind of makes this film at least stand out for the most part. The unlikable characters definitely doesn't really help this film out, especially because you don't care when it kind of comes to like some of the very violent kills in here. But when it comes to the urge, I feel like the meaning is supposed to be kind of like releasing your inner desires, and I feel like they did kind of accomplish kind of talking about that and the insecurities of humans and kind of like their jealousy or whatever it may be. Pretty much the urge is pretty much to be like, if you have 13 hours to live and you essentially have no, you know, you have all the money in the world, you can do whatever the hell you want. You're not going to second guess yourself about what you can or cannot do. You're just going to do it. That's kind of what the urge is, and just kind of releasing your inner desire or your inner insecurities and kind of letting them come through. And Pierce Bronson is pretty much trying to be like the devil and releasing hell on air. Now, this movie's a little bit like the movie The Loft, Eyes Wide Shut, and just a dash of Far Cry 3, and I actually did kind of enjoy this. I think this is a very crazy and entertaining enough ride, but I think that the concept is really the best part of this entire film, and it does have a very stylized and kind of like sexy type of tone that it does have going for it, but it definitely kind of just loses that shit, as I said, because when Justin Chatwin kind of leaves the club, it just kind of indulges inside, just kind of a little bit of boring, but it does pick up enough to kind of make you get a little bit intrigued. So I say fucking Urge is at least a decent enough time to at least watch, but mainly for the meaning and kind of the concept, not necessarily anything else in the film. But I say it's a decent enough time, and you can see it if you want, but then again, that's just my opinion. Comment, subscribe, and like if you actually enjoyed this review. I'm Chris Smith, and I'm signing out.